All right, I'm gonna get this started. I wasn't planning on doing this, but this is how the best things happen, okay? So happy Day of the Dead. This is a Mexican tradition to honor your dead relatives, your ancestors, people that, come before you, right? That are no longer alive. So happy November 2nd, Day of the Dead, Días de las Muertes. So basically, I'm going to do a card reading. But before we do the card reading on the Day of the Dead, I wanted to talk about channeling energy, right? So you always say, do a clearing of yourself. You should have a daily practice that you do in the morning, clearing your energy before you go to sleep, letting go of the day. When you wake up, wake up with a meditation, a positive thought, or just letting go, reflecting your dreams, write it down. If you have time or you choose to, let it go. You can decode your dreams later, but have like a spiritual practice in the morning where you do something, some kind of meditation, and clear your energy, right? And then before you do the card reading, pull a card for yourself. I didn't do that yet, so I'm going to do one for myself. I'm pulling 3 cards. Okay. All right, so I get the meaning, okay? And that's why I pull the 3 cards of the day, just to have a conversation with you guys. And I know some people like that, right? Something fun. I keep dropping all the cards. It's like messages. It's like, just get on with it, right? But you want to pull cards for yourself so that you're not getting a message that's meant for you, and the same card will keep popping up. Sometimes that message is for you if you didn't read for yourself before you started reading for other people. And sometimes if you've read for yourself, then it's a powerful message for that day. And just shuffle the cards and clear your mind. I wanted to make videos yesterday on the 1st of November, but I just couldn't. So I needed my day of rest. So anyway, the Day of the Dead, right? It's a celebration of life and death. I heard something that it was a holiday. I want to be on camera too, but I'm not. I just woke up and I didn't even do my makeup or fix myself. But I heard that it was a celebration in May, and they moved it to this day. If you heard something like that, let me know. A lot of the tribes, right, had their own celebration. A lot of it was lost when the Spaniards arrived, right, Columbus and all of that. So a lot of the traditions were lost, and they merge because one native that might have been brought to the islands or to wherever in the Americas will see similarities in cultures. So the Mexican culture was able to hold on to it. And the Day of the Dead is the celebration of life and death. They go to they do like a whole, like a parade, if you will, and walking to a respectful one, walking to the graveyard, and then bringing candies, candles, gifts, food, and just spending time and telling stories of that relative and so on, right? So it's a moment to pause, because at this time of the year, the energy of the earth shifts, right? You can feel it. The northern hemisphere, the harvest moon happened, and the plants start to lose their leaves, and it just gets colder and darker. So it has that energy about it anyway, right? Now, the Day of the Dead, it lasts for 2 days, right? And to have a 1-day holiday is kind of weird. And I don't like how right after Halloween, October 31st, everyone's like, oh, well, time for Christmas music or, you know, time for another holiday. So I feel like 2 weeks into November, I'm still holding the energy of life, death, and also, you know, the Halloween part is the dressing up part, the party part, but it's also a great time for divination too. You know, divination work, you know, getting together with friends, having dinner if you can, different days of the week, or, you know, even setting up time, video chat, and doing card readings. It's a fun time. In one of my last videos, I said, you know, from like October 22nd to, you know, the first week in November, the energy is really strong. So, you know, November 1st and November 2nd is a great time to celebrate this, right? So like I said, I couldn't do it yesterday, so I'm doing it now. So clearing your energy, right? And then in a meditative state, sit and pull down energy from above and from the core of the earth, right? So you're just connecting to divine and have that kind of meet at the center of your belly, that energy. And then just have that energy just flowing through your body. You can visualize it any color light you want, but you're clearing your body. You are connecting to divine source, that your card reading will be on point, will be good, right? So I'm shuffling the cards right now. This setup is for the November readings, which I'm going to do, right? And I got this blanket from one of my kids. They got it from the grandparents. I guess they had vacation in Mexico. So I have two, and I just picked this one because I like the earthy sky colors too. So let's shuffle, okay? So what you can do is just like ask, you know, ancestors, what message do I need to know? And I'm gonna pull 9 cards. I feel like pulling 9 cards, and then if I do 10 cards, the 10th one will be like a message. So everything takes time. So just clear your mind, shuffle, and set the intention of only connecting with good ancestors that are, you know, spiritually balanced. And just the message. And I'm just gonna read, right? So you can do this for yourself as well. And if you don't have photos for the altar, right? Because I have pictures, but I've been doing a lot of cleaning and stuff like that. But I wanted to put up pictures, but I didn't want to put it up of my relative because I didn't ask my family members if it's okay. So I didn't want to do it, right? That's just a respectful Caribbean thing. So I'm not going to put up, I'll do it for my own private self. If I do, but if you don't have photos, you can use all the elements: earth, air, fire, water. You can bless dirt that you picked up from outside, like say a prayer. If you're Christian, you say a Psalms. You can look up the hoodoo for different Psalms, and because everywhere people have been buried, so you can respect whatever that dirt is, like whoever, you know, energetically in the past was connected to that dirt, and bless it, and then, you know, have it represent your ancestors. You can put the dirt in like a little bowl. You can get little bowls at the dollar store or something, but or even incense burners like this. You know, if you have a little incense burner like that, you can put the dirt in there, or little glass containers you can get at the dollar store, you know. And then you can have water for water, you know, and you say a prayer over the water. You don't have to put salt in it, but just say a prayer over the water. So you got the dirt, earth, or a rock. If you don't feel comfortable with the dirt, you can use rock and just say a prayer and have that represent your ancestors. Water in a bowl for, you know, the water. Fire, you can put like a little cone incense burner, or the stick one. And for air, you can put a flower or a leaf, okay? Or a feather that you found outside. And then for spirit, you can put a star or draw a star on a piece of flash card or paper. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to look, you know, like anything, it just means something to you. And then clear quartz crystals, or any crystals that you want to put on there, but clear quartz can represent anything. And then there you have your altar. And then you can light candles and make, you know, votive candles. I always suggest those, the little votive candles, or fake ones, you know, if you're afraid of starting a fire, which we should all be, you know, paying attention to that. I have to get up again and show you guys. You know what a votive candle is, in case someone doesn't know, but like a little votive candle, they burn out faster. So you can light white ones or whatever color you have. But a white candle, you can set it for any color, you know, intentionally. And then you just light a candle for them to find their way, you know, or that they're okay. I was talking to someone I know about, let me see if my microphone will let me stretch over here. Ancestor money. So I have some ancestor money and I want to make my own. This one is from the Chinese tradition, right? And that's their tradition. But you burn it to send money to, you know, your ancestors in the other realm. And the thought behind it is that we need energetic money here, real, you know, money, physical money here in the real world, and they need spiritual money there. And it's just a way of saying, you know, if I didn't take care of you well in this life, I'm taking care of you in the next. Or it's just a way of sending energy of, you know, paying your way to, you know, in your travels. It's just sending good energy in your travels so you get to where you need to go. That's how I visualize it, right? It's like, wouldn't it be a bitch if you die and then you're like, we need money over here too? But yeah, it's an energetic way of sending traveling energy, like travel along your way, right? Our interpretation of helping you get to where you want to go. And you can do that through chanting too, you know, and through sending that, what we call now, good vibes, so that they reach where they need to reach. But we all have to do our own spiritual work while we're alive and while we're dead. So in that transitional space. So when you're pulling the cards, you're asking to only connect to relatives that mean you well. So only connecting to relatives that mean me well. What's the message that I need to know for myself, for the family, for this month? What do we need to know? My ears always clogs up when I knock the card and shuffle. Jeez. All right. That's the 9th card. Okay, I'm not going to touch this because this is the next one I'm going to need. So what I'm getting is, and I'm going to pause because I need to blow my nose. All right, I'm back. Let me just move my iPad. Okay, so, all right, so we have, let me grab this because my, so I'll just say all the cards that we have. The 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 5 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Cups, the Emperor, 7 of Coins, and then the last one. I won't reveal that one yet. Okay, so what's the message that I'm getting? Money is going to be of importance. What I'm getting is that there's going to be a need to make or break ourselves. And there's a lot of options that we have, okay, to get there. But we have to choose the right path, the right path, okay? Lots of choices, lots of options, but we need to choose the right path. There's going to be a need to block out the chaos, the noise of what other people's opinions. There's a need to focus and this woman, the Nine of Pentacles, represents to me a woman that because work and earns everything she has. It has nothing to do with not having a man, right? I don't think that that's the energy, or a partner. I think it has to, for me, it has to do with women. Our ancestors worked, right? So in every culture is different. Maybe in one culture the woman did the farming, the other culture the men did the farming. Tribally, man and woman can hunt. They work together as a team. They'll find out who is good at what, right? So my African ancestors, my native Aboriginal ancestors, they all had their own tribal ways of doing things, right? So to me, this woman represents every woman, where you have your talent and you can earn a living with your partner, or raising the family. But whatever you're doing, that energy works for you. And it's saying that you have to know your skills. That's what they're saying to me. Know your skills, use your skills. You have lots of them. Choose one and the path will open, and then you can do the other ones, right? And I always tell people that, because a lot of people I read for, they're limited, and we limit ourselves by other people's stupid opinions because they don't want you to win, right? And I love what my cousin posted the other days. Me smiling, it's a meme, me smiling when I see my friends or family winning. And you have to have that positive energy. If you don't have that, then nothing will make you happy. So ancestors are saying, let the money work for you. You have many options. Choose the right one. Don't, fantasize. Be realistic. Right? A lot of people think spiritual people aren't realistic. It is realistic, but you have to be realistic. Pick what works. Ignore the noise. Don't worry about other people's opinion. It's like you hold the information. Ignore the chaos. Notice the chaos. When I say ignore the chaos, not pay attention to it. Don't let it affect you. And focus on what you have to do. Right? So ignoring that. The Knight is a charmer. So be charming, but be aware of being charmed by others. Right? So I feel like that's reminding us of not to get distracted, because a fighter can also win with charms, right? Sometimes they'll send someone physically beautiful, or they'll send someone that they know that you like that look, or that type of person. So don't be deceived, right? And realize that a lot of things can be a test, and you have to keep your mind open. Keep an open mind. I feel like the next message is about challenges, right? Challenges. And a challenge can be disguised in a playing around game, right? So not to be too superstitious or too worried or anything like that, but just being calm enough, being wise enough. That's why meditation is so important. That's why time to think is so important, right? So I feel that this is reminding us of how we spend our time. Things can be a game, it could be a competition. it's all for us to develop our strength. So what strength am I developing? Right? What's the fire within me? What am I developing? What's the progress of that? What's the process of that? Okay. So we just have to look at how we're developing ourselves. And keeping our energy, and just realizing that life, keeping our energy, protecting our energy, and realizing that life is a game. So there's time to play around and have fun, but realizing and learning the game of this world. And I really like when I get major arcanas, because major arcanas are definite. It's like a definite message. I believe that's the 10th card. Yes, the Wheel of Fortune is the 10th card. And I was debating on, do I pull 9 cards, 9 meaning endings and beginnings, or do I pull 10 cards? So I guess the 10th card that I have over there is going to have a strong message. The Wheel of Fortune is about happiness, right? And that happiness, we need to find it and to identify it. And it's about continuous learning, like a scholar. It's not so much about enlightenment, but it's about learning. Okay? So again, what are we learning? Because to be the 9 of Pentacles, you have to have either been given the skills. I feel like the 9 starts off with, what did your family have to give you? And sometimes they have to give you wisdom because they didn't have a lot of money, maybe, or some had a lot of money, others didn't. It was just like a rat race, or just doing the best one can. So I feel like the Wheel of Fortune now is saying that, you know, things are always shifting, and you have to hit your moment of luck or opportunity, happiness. And being faithful in that things will work out. And then what's my view of the world right now? What's going on in the world? And how do I relate to other people? How do I act around other people? Or how is my interaction with people right now? And just to have faith. And to see what I connect with. What am I connecting with? What am I feeling? And right now is an important time to write down what we're experiencing, to really document it. My happiness, our happiness is out there, but we have to like claim it. And our fate, our life path, our actions, sometimes it's passed down to us, and sometimes we choose it. And we can choose it in a way that is comfortable for ourselves. We don't have to be, we don't have to do it the way others think that we have to do it. But our fate, our life, our happiness, we have to decide where we're going with that and how we're going about it. The two of Cups is about love. I feel like this one is about relationship, like the relationship I'm in, or just building good connection and good relationship with our partners, right? And really finding not a look, but an energy. The energy of the person is what matters. So it's really getting into a deeper spiritual connection. And that's kind of hard when life is chaotic. It's all about how we view our lives. But when life is chaotic and you're fighting many battles socially, it's, everyone has their path, their life story, but it's really connecting to the root of that person, and maintaining a tradition, right? Having an emotional connection and being there for the person in good and in bad. But the bad isn't accepting bad behavior, or, I don't believe in accepting bad behavior. The bad is, oh, the person's not feeling well, and they need encouragement. That's as far as it goes. It's not you acting crazy or treating me bad. That's not what the bad is. Like, that's why it should always traditionally take time to match a person, and for you to match yourself with a person. Now that it's not an old-fashioned way of finding a person, you have to really, if you mess up, then fine, but you really have to be careful, right? Because it's life and death, it's health, it's happiness, well-being, all of that. So it's about forming good relationships, powerful relationships, and people that care about your well-being, your happiness. So it's not about just throwing away your love and your relationship. It's about caring about the person, actually caring about you. That's what I feel. The Emperor. And dig deeper into the Wheel of Fortune too, if it pops up in your reading. The Emperor, right? The Emperor is like known as the god of spring. So after winter, we're getting into spring, right? And to me, the Emperor sees everything. So is in control of himself, and to put himself first. And when you put yourself first, you're facing the unknowns of anything that you're facing. So it's reminding me to be strong. And my partner is the Emperor. I'm the Emperor. My family, it's like, our land, our terrain, even physically the land where you live, knowing your area, knowing your neighbor. You don't have to be friends with them, but be aware of who they are, right? And that's very powerful, right? That's like a tribal thing, just being aware of your surroundings. And also, I think it represents a father figure. So connecting to the male, sending positive energy to the male ancestors and the male in the family that is alive now, like from the female to the male. That's what I'm feeling, right? And whoever you love, it's just about love, not just love whoever that you love. And I feel like the Emperor is reminding me just to wake up and remember our what do you say, like a pioneering spirit in science, medicine, like everything, herbs, healing, science, astrology, looking up at the stars, like just knowing that we have a long lineage of people that did things, the great things, bad things, whatever, but recognizing the good in them and not ignoring the bad either, but just checking into our pioneering spirit of creating and knowing where we're going, leading ourselves, knowing ourselves in order to lead ourselves. And I feel like from the nine is reminding us that the seven of coins of the things we grow. I grew up with my family farming. We both, my mom and my dad's side, we had our land, so we grew up with farming and knowing that this is our land, our ancestors' land, the Tainos, the African, the Aboriginal, even the ones that were brought from other parts of the Americas. So, our land, our culture, and the work that we do, planting our food. A lot of people now, since we've been on the lockdown, have to started growing food, right? Making sure that, whatever you could grow, you can grow that. and just being mindful. I think it's also saying to me, you know, being thankful, as I always am, for how the food gets here. Just being conscious of the people that actually pick the food. I've always been that way because I grew up on a farm, my grandparents' farm. I would visit. So, you know, I know the work it took going to the market, seeing people selling their food. You know, my first market wasn't like a supermarket you walk in, it was a street market. So you know that these people woke up early. They worked the day before, they woke up early, they brought their food to the market, they sold it. I've always grown up with hard work, you know, working, all of that, right? So knowing that things are stolen, taken, you know, so it's anything different. I can tell when someone's lying and full of shit because I know the truth, right? So this card is about doing your farming or doing whatever work you're doing and waiting for the next step. But for me, it's like I would be creating the next step, right? So I understand the waiting process, but also it's ready, and then technically it's there, it's growing. This is the waiting process. The fruit hasn't ripened yet, right? So the work is there to be done, but there's always a waiting period. You can't just rush into everything. That's how I'm interpreting it. You don't have to rush into everything. Everything has a timing. I think this is what it's saying to me. Everything has a timing. Astrologically, it has a planetary alignment timing. Everything has a timing. When do you start, right? Starting in the right, correct moon phase helps. You know, everything has a timing. And if you miss that mark, then you could still go forward, but things will be harder. Page of Wands. I'm interested in the Page of Wands. How I remember what the Page of Wands means, but I want to look and see. I want to think about this. The Page of Wands, it's about really developing an idea, right? So developing and moving forward to mastering, maybe just thinking about it. That's interesting. So you have to have the ability to actually make things happen. So you can have all the information, and this is so true. You can have all the information, all the facts, everything behind you, but then the energy to get up and to go and do what is needed to be done, right? It's like having that fire within you to accomplish and do what you need to do for yourself or for your family. But when you do it for